What's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here on my home turf at a special filming spot location because guess what? I have that large SUV from Honda, the largest SUV they make currently here in the United States, and it's right here next to me. What is it? It's a 2025 Honda Pilot. This particular one is the Pilot Elite. But before we get into this mid-size 3-row SUV with all-wheel drive, let's talk about what's going on here. So the Pilot, it really has been a top seller in the segment for so many years. Of course, then comes around the South Korean brands, the Hyundai Palisade, and of course the Kia Telluride. There's another Japanese brand though that really made some big strides with their mid-size SUV. That would be Nissan with the Pathfinder. Interesting how some of the competition is switching to smaller displacement engines, like the Toyota Highlander with a turbocharged 4-cylinder. But what I want to find out is, two of the vehicles, both from Japanese manufacturers, Japanese car companies, are making mid-size SUVs with V6s still, naturally aspirated V6s. But which one should you go with? Let's go ahead. Let's dive into this Pilot Elite and see if you should be buying it over a Nissan Pathfinder. Let's check it out. So obviously, wearing the face from a redesign not too long ago, they did a heck of a job making it look a little bit more exciting and not so much like a refrigerator with 4 wheels driving down the road. At the front of the business, when you go Elite trim, you'll see you have your full LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, which are also up top your turn signals. Working your way down, Elite trim gives you some shiny chrome trim, functional corner air curtains, and LED fog lamps down on the lower corner. But this is that area of the vehicle where they really gave it a little bit more attitude, and I like that, especially with how much higher the hood sits from the previous model year. Now, as we come across the front grille, you have a massive Flava Flav Honda badge. He's gonna hang that around his neck instead of the clock. We do have a forward-facing camera with a washer and full functionality in that upper grille area. Gloss black grille with the chrome brow because this is an Elite trim. Down below, you do have some flat black with functionality in the center, and then the flat metallic gray finish on the lower lip. But like I said, from a look, they definitely made it look a little bit more muscular. Comparing it to the Pathfinder, it's tough because, like I said, Nissan did a pretty darn good job with the Pathfinder. It's gonna really come down to personal preference on which one looks better. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about that. Now, as we rise up, like I said, by taking the hood, having the hood sit a little bit higher, clean body lines. All you have are these 2 lower points on both sides of the hood. Everything else is very clean, not a bunch of crazy folds and all this other stuff. Now, when we come around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire setup? So when you go Elite trim, you're gonna get these 20-inch wheels, machined aluminum with the gunmetal metallic gray finish. Tires are gonna be 255 on the width, 50 series sidewall. And one thing that I'm definitely gonna have to zonk, on the Elite trim, there should be no flat black around the fender openings. That is a big no-no on the top trim. It should be all painted. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. But of course, they revamped the chassis and the suspension. And like I said, this does have all-wheel drive. Now, coming down the side, color matched on the mirror caps, you do have your 360-degree cameras, LED turn signals, just some shiny bright metalwork on the bottom of the window frames, color matched on your door handles, and then they did take the same colors, that gray, the flat gray and the flat black, and they ran it along the bottom portion of where the passenger and the driver door is on this driver's side. Obviously, same thing on the passenger side. Raised roof rails that are gloss black. I'm so happy they did not do chrome. And I like the way that the trim ends and doesn't like wrap all the way around. I think it makes an SUV of this size look less heavy when you're looking at the side of the vehicle. Decent sized quarter window. It's funny, this used to be like large, but now this is actually a little bit on the smaller side with what other manufacturers are doing. And then as we spin it around the back, you're gonna have a stubby roof spoiler, color matched shark fin antenna, and then they hide the LED third brake light very nicely into that spoiler. The zonk is get rid of this. This needs to be tucked underneath. That would really clean it up, especially with the way that they now have the Pilot name within that trim. They also did a great job styling the taillights. The one bad thing is that if you look in there, I see Thomas Edison rocking in his rocking chair. That's a big no-no. But we have all-wheel drive, the Elite badge on the back, and then working our way down to ground level. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Both of the exhaust openings, well, they're not really exhaust openings. Both of these openings are fake. So they went through all this work, designing it, making bright, shiny metalwork finish to go around it, but they're not actually functional. The exhaust is underneath the rear bumper. That's a double zonk to me. But I do like the way they did the flat black and the gray, just like they did on the front and the sides of the vehicle. They finished it out back. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this Pilot. Right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod, which I am gonna zonk. There should be a hood strut, at least one of them, to hold the hood open. But what you have, it's sort of like a mono-e-mono type of thing between this and the Nissan Pathfinder. They both utilize 3.5 liter V6s. So you have a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6, 285 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And then if you're wondering, well, what about 0 to 60, Joe? 0 to 60 in about 7.2 seconds. Top speed is governed to 112 miles per hour. MPGs 19 in the city, 25 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 4,670 pounds. Where the Pathfinder really comes out on top is towing. It actually tows more than this vehicle. This vehicle tows 5,000 pounds, whereas the Nissan Pathfinder, you're looking at over 6,000 pounds. But what is great is you have that tried and true naturally aspirated V6 power plant. Why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Honda Pilot Elite. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I need an SUV. I don't want to buy an SUV, but I need to buy an SUV because of my family and their needs and everything else. How much is this one? MSRP, you're looking right around $54,000 for this top Elite trim. But let's see how it stacks up to the Pathfinder, to the door panels. I love the simplicity of what Honda does. Soft touch material up top. You have this black trim, which is kind of cool. It almost looks like the Matrix, but instead of being green, it's black with the silver, and that hides your fingerprints actually pretty well. No gloss black around the switchgear, and then they know how to use every square inch of a door panel. You have your Twinkie holder in the center, 7 Twinkies, lucky number 7, and you could put a Yeti can in that cup holder of the door pocket, and then down below you could put at least 4 cheeseburgers from Mickey D's. Going from the door panel to the dash, here's another massive tray where you could put some honey buns, maybe even some Hawaiian rolls. I know Steven loves his Hawaiian rolls with a little bit of ham and pineapple. And then of course you got the Bose sound system, soft touch with the stitching. Slide on in, you get a 9-inch, a little bit on the small side compared to the competition. 9-inch infotainment system. It's got all the familiar apps and features from Honda, and you could move the icons around. Of course, you do have navigation. It does take a couple seconds here. There it is. It's not the Google Maps, so it hasn't been updated yet. Throw it into reverse. Camera quality is decent. It's not as spectacular as what's on the Nissan, but you do have your 360, you do have your trajectory, and then right back to where we started. Real volume knob. One feature that is really cool is how you have your trail watch camera system. So you hit the camera button and that immediately brings up your camera angles out the front and the 360. Really cool to have. Look at that. Nice to have that all by the touch of a button. Bright red start-stop button. You do have your dual climate control with a nice click. It almost feels like an old safe. You do have 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats. You got your rear AC controls, a little place for 2 containers of Tic Tacs, USB-C, USB-A, a 12-volt, place where you could put 2 pickles in a bag from your favorite convenience store, wireless charging, 2 cup holders. This is going to control your 10-speed automatic. You got your different drive modes, hill descent control, and then, of course, soft material on this large center console. Open it up. You got enough room in there. I would say you could probably put maybe 8 Beanie Babies. Hopefully you got the expensive ones that you could sell, and then you don't have to worry about keeping them in here. Seats, the leather, the piping, the stitching, full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist, of course, for the driver, and then you do have that panoramic sunroof with a power shade. I gotta zonk the beige. The beige makes it feel fuddy-duddy in here, and it makes it feel kind of rental car-esque. Don't like it. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Pilot. All right, guys, behind the wheel of this Pilot, you have 2 memory seat settings. You do have your seat controls, easy to get to. Seats are good. They're comfortable. They're supportive. I'm 6 feet tall. Plenty of room in here. Steering wheel, great leather. They do a great job on their wheels at Honda. You do have a heated steering wheel. You just hit that button. Flat black on the switchgear. Paddles to go up and down your 10-speed automatic. It is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then you have that 10.25-inch infotainment system display, which you could scroll through information in the speedometer and also in the tachometer as well. So nice to have that set up. You got your different modes, lots of modes. I think almost too many modes when you think about snow, trail, sand, and tow. That's a lot of modes, man. You know how we're rolling, sport mode, baby. And then, of course, there is a decent size head-up display. But let's go ahead, let's get into the mid-row and the third row and see how much space there is in this Pilot. All right, guys, mid-row time. And what's great about this is that it's actually configurable, which the Pathfinder really isn't. So you could have your bench seat all the way across. And what's nice is that they slide actually separate. So you don't have to be like agreeing with your passenger sitting next to you. Hey, am I allowed to move the seat? No, just move your own damn seat. It's your seat. And you have a right to move it whenever you want. The leather is nice. Backs of the seats, you got massive pockets up top. Look at this. You could fit a Webster's dictionary back here. I remember when I used to be punished back when I was a kid, I would have to copy words and definitions out of the Webster dictionary. Now when kids are punished, they get money and candy. That's being punished today in today's world. Back of the command center, you do have heated seats, no ventilated seats. Come on, Honda. Give me ventilated seats for $54,000. You do have your AC controls, home power source, 2 USB-Cs. Very, very comfortable back here. And when it comes to this center seat, you could turn it into a captain's chair arrangement. You can go to the gas station and get yourself, a little serving of nachos with that really gross pumped out cheese. And you could have it there, dipping it in the cheese. And then you got your 2 cup holders. And then you can remove this if you want to. But why don't we go ahead? I'm going to move things around so that we can get into the third row of this Pilot. All right, guys, third row time. It's a little tight getting into the third row. I think it's a little easier to get in the third row of the Pathfinder. But what's crazy is my knees are actually pretty low. And what's cool is that if you don't want this midsection here, you could take it out and then allow your third row passengers to kind of stretch their legs out. I'm not even close to the headliner. AC vents, USB-C, 2 mega-sized cup holders. And to be honest with you, the seat's kind of comfy for what it is. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the cargo area and see what you can stuff in a Pilot. All right, guys, cargo area time. You're gonna hit the button. Nice electric assist. Obviously, the Pathfinder has electric assist as well. You're gonna be greeted to a good amount of space, even with the third row up. Now, one thing you'll notice is that you have your Costco hot dog holder on this side, and of course, your Costco size gallon of soda, Coca-Cola. You do have a 12 volt back here for when you're at a campsite or maybe you're at the beach. And the nice thing is that if you're at the beach, I like the way this has a plastic finish. Now, let's say you're not at the beach and you don't want this plastic finish to show. What you do is you actually just take it out. And what's great is you're gonna be given a bunch of space back here. I just wish it didn't have carpet so that you could put all those sandy things in the cargo area underneath the cover. What you can put here is that center console for the third row. Excuse me, for the second row. You could put that back here and it locks into place. But I do like the reversible cover, and then to put the third row seats down, it's so freaking easy. I could do it lickety split. I mean, look at that, nice and flat. There's your USB-Cs, your ginormous cup holders, and your rear AC for the third row. Of course, that mid row folds down totally flat. You can get those big, huge sheets of cake from Costco. They do those Costco cakes. Even if it's not your birthday, just buy yourself a birthday cake. Make yourself feel good. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways with this Honda Pilot. Definitely got to thank everybody at Honda for allowing us to have access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Is the Pilot still that go-to for your midsize 3-row SUV? Or are you thinking that maybe Nissan has a ringer on its hands and you're gonna go Pathfinder? Let me know which way you're gonna choose in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Gotta give out to Stephen Flood. Sometimes he gets a little stuck in these 3-row SUVs trying to get out. But you know what? We help him because that's what we do. We're here to help one another, and it's one of those great things. So thank you, Stephen, for doing what you do. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.